Welcome back, folks, once again to TalkinStocks with my main man, Dan the Stockman, where we interview top public company for some insight on where they are today and where the future might hold. I'm your co-host, George, with a J, and without further ado, your host, the brother from another mother, the Crystal River Manatee Swimming King, Dan the Stockman.
You got a beautiful stock chart. I just want to make that clear for people that trade the chart. I mean, I know people might be a little disappointed the stock's off the highs of 80 cents, but it's trading at the lower end of a 10-year uptrend. It's just a beautiful, beautiful chart. So that's telling you there's some smart investors out there. They're willing to, you look for higher highs and higher lows. And my eye, the stock's bottomed out here. People step in. The smart money says this is cheap. So tell us about this last news. Your stock's up about 50% since the news, Jeff. Is a big deal. Some closure on a big contract. You're going to start soon. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Yes, that's it's of course been waiting a long time because this project in North Carolina was actually under letter of intent about 2.5 years ago, and just continuously got delayed by COVID. But we're pleased to say that not only is it contracted now and we're ready to start our portion of the work, but the project has been underway now for us, so it actually is moving forward, which is also important. And it's, again, one of the largest projects, if not the largest project in our space ever awarded in the separated concrete market. And we are pleased and excited to be moving forward with that and looking forward to its completion over the next year.
Huge, huge. Again, we're talking about a company with a $30 million market cap, and this is a project over $20 million, just one contract, and that'll be something you guys will finish up in about a year?
Yeah, a little over a year, but it'll start later this fall, yes.
You got the capacity. I mean, could you blow everybody away with something even bigger than that at some point?
You know, as you know, as part of the announcement, we continue to announce that our backlog is still up over 85, well, it's up around $88 million. And that backlog comes out of what we call our sales pipeline. And our sales pipeline is made up of over $400 million of projects that we've been approached on for a design or quote or both. And this pipeline continues to grow because even though it is more mature in the U.S. market, it's very early stage in the Canadian market still. So there's a lot of still growth potential within both markets. And the projects, not only the number of them continues to grow for these large projects, but the size of them continues to grow as well.
Your job is basically educating the engineers and the architects to know it's available. Educational sale, you might say.
Yes. It's the engineers, particularly the geotechnical engineers, are the ones that design materials into projects. So they have to be either you have to have an approval or an acceptance by that engineer in order for him to specify it into a project that eventually ends up in a contract that orders cellular concrete, right, as part of it. And what we replace, and we've talked about this before, is things like EPS block, rigid insulations, weak and unstable soils, seismic prone soils, interior grouting materials and things like that interfere other lightweight materials. So there's many things that we replace in construction projects. You can make it both porous and non-porous.
Okay.
Most of our product that's applied is impermeable, meaning that water cannot go through it.
Oh.
Now it can seep in the outsides, but it will not infiltrate its way all the way through the material. In a lot of places where there is a high water table, certain engineers want material designed to have the material flow through it.
Right.
Okay, so that it becomes a drainage system too as well.
Yeah.
So most of this is done from an impermeable perspective, but some projects are designed where they want the water to flow through the material. Fortunately, with our deal with Lafarge, that helps us out in a lot of respects, but lafarge is not all over North America, and we're pouring product from the Northwest Territories in Canada right down to, it's all across from North to South America where we're pouring product.
And just to be clear, so Lafarge is one of the largest cement companies globally, and they supply you with material and also jobs at times?
Yeah, no, it's been very good for us. And Lafarge, we're just now expanding our relationship with them into the United States and also internationally. We haven't made any moves internationally yet, but Lafarge has indicated, desire to take us internationally with them because they get more involved in large P3 construction projects around the world in the international market versus the North American market. And that's where they believe that we can provide them with a material that will not only help them win their projects, but actually provide them with a better material than they've been using in the past for similar type applications.
So you guys get about 20, as of April, you still had about 20 million cash in the banks. I mean, you got a really strong balance sheet. Do you put your stock symbol on any of your equipment?
That's a very good idea. We don't think we put the symbol on right now, but it's funny, we haven't done that up here as well. But the number of times that people will call me up and say, well, I just saw your equipment in Southern Ontario or in Quebec or New York, right? They're talking about that. And so it is important to get the name out there, and it's becoming more well known, as we know.
What else did you have in mind?
In the background, during COVID, we continue to grow our backlog. We continue to grow the market. And again, it's fairly early stage. The number and size of projects continues to grow. So we will have a good year this year, and next year will be much better. And we'll continue to see this continued growth. And our long-term plan is not really long-term much anymore. What we're doing right now is we have the projects, we have the backlog, and now it's just a matter of execution and making money.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
I appreciate the time that you've given me today to tell a little bit more about Cematrix and what we're doing. And certainly,
for me, I've been a shareholder for a couple of years. Got some friends and family that own the stock as well. It's certainly in. We take a concentrated approach. We believe owning you can be diversified with say 20 to 30 stocks in a portfolio. You're not overly diversified this way, and the Cematrix is certainly in our top 10, 15 ideas, and I think people really should take a strong look. The fundamentals are there, and man, I always say when the stars align on the fundamentals and the technicals, just talking about what the chart looks like, price and volume is basically kind of the footprints in the sand, if you will, that smart money people leave behind. And it's almost like two nights of a chart. I mean, it's just been in this uptrend for 10 years, but it's quite orderly. It's not all over the place. I mean, it just trends higher, and right now it's sitting at the lower end of this 10-year uptrend. So I think pretty awesome opportunity for people to take a look. The pullback's kind of the gift, and people get scared just based on price. That's just the psychology, emotional part. As you just said, the business is getting more valuable all the time. You just secured one of the largest contracts in the history of this industry, and you guys are going to keep acquiring companies and make sure you stay the dominant player in cellular concrete, right? So,
exactly. I agree with everything you said. You're exactly right.
Well, anyway, thanks again, Jeff, and look forward to talking with you down the road.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for continuing to be a supporter and investor, and we'll look forward to continuing to discuss this in the future.
Okay, very good.
Take care, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again for tuning in. This was Talking Stocks with Dan, the Stockman, every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm your co-host, George with a J. Special thanks to our guest and to our sponsor, FullMarketRun.com. Get those top stocks in your inbox. Tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Smash that follow button to ensure you get that link. For the latest stocks and investment news, visit us online at OwnerzzZ.com. If this message or interview resonates with you in any way, make sure to like and share. And like always, See you next time.